Hi, I'm Eileen Roach from Designs and Machine Embroidery, and I'm excited to be here today to reveal to you gift number 4 of our top 10 gift making ideas for holiday season 2019. Boy, that's a lot of words to string together. Today is November 14th, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention that this is the second anniversary of the passing of one of our industry's greatest icons, Nancy Zeman. And Nancy and I shared so many great times together. She was my dear friend, my mentor, and my colleague. And she is part of 2 of these gifts in the 10 series that we're going to, reveal throughout this holiday season. Last week was gift number 5, and that was t-shirt remakes, which I had to wear in honor of Nancy today because we had so much fun creating these t-shirts together. So the week before that, we had I have to put my glasses on. We had metallic thread ornaments, and then hats and patches, an eyeglass case, and embroidered fringe earrings. So all of these, if you've been following along, well, you've probably have gotten started on some really easy and quick to make gifts that you can have ready for the holidays. So today we're going to reveal number 4, which is our vintage clutch. These designs are very unique in that they feature a unique thread. It's a polyester thread and comes in 2 weights, a 40 weight and a 15 weight. What's so cool about these designs are they give you that look of handwork, which, in my world, that's a 4-letter word. I'm not going to do any sewing or embroidery by hand. But if I can mimic that look, which is so popular in ready-wear today, I'm on board. And that's what this vintage clutch collection gives you. So what's in this collection? Well, let me show you. I have one almost opened here. So not only does it come with an embroidery collection with in the hoop embroidery designs to make these 3 different clutch designs, it also has downloadable instructions. So you're going to get 7 pages of step-by-step full color instructions for you to use to make these, and they will come out just as flawless as our samples here. So let's see how many are here. Ruth Ann Lowry, you taught at Nancy's Notions in the 90s. Yeah, me too, right? Great memories I'm sure you have there at Beaver Dam. And boy, it is sad that the Nancy's Notion store is no longer there, but lots of great memories in Beaver Dam. And hi, Sue Brown in snowy Ontario, Canada. My friend Isabella Choplin from France, welcome. So nice to see you online with us as always. And Retha up in Wyoming, I'll bet it is a beautiful day up there. I bet there's snow on your ground too. We've had a lot of cold weather here in Dallas this week, and we're pretty warm-blooded, so we're kind of chicken little when it comes to that cold weather, but literally 28 degrees on the thermometer this week. That's really, shocking to my system, I can tell you that. Let's see, Isabella Shoplin, you're lucky to show a nice wallet embroidered by me. It's a very nice gift that everyone has to offer. Girls, go ahead. Thank you. I'm glad that you've enjoyed that, Isabella. So Isabella is over in France. She is one of my dear friends over there, and she's also been a great Nancy Zeman fan. So let's get back to the project at hand. This is our vintage clutch collection. We have a special offer this week. And so when you open this up, first on the back, you're going to see the collection. And when you pull that out, it has a download link for you to download the embroidery designs and all of those instructions that come with it that I already showed you. So we're going to hold your hand all the way through so that you can have success in creating this project also. But once you open up that box and slide out the cover, you'll see that you have 12 different spools of thread, and they're a mix of the 15 and 40 weight thread. You also get a pack of needles from Schmetz. Now, these Schmetz needles are a top stitch 100 needle. Now, that nice open large eye is going to accommodate the heavier 15 weight thread. And that's what you need to have success for this project. Now, it's a beautiful medley of bright colors. So you can get kind of a tropical look from these, or what I wound up doing in my step out collection, in my final sample for today, was just to stitch it all in red to kind of have like a holiday bag. So I used a gray canvas fabric and I selected that really pretty red, bright red vintage thread. And then on the inside of my bag, I selected a really pretty cotton polka dot kind of, business on the outside, party on the inside bag, right? Isn't that fun? So in order to make this, you will hoop your batting and your outside fabric, your outer fabric, and you will stitch one back of the handbag and one front. And that's where all of your decorative stitching is. And you'll notice that there's a cut line on the outside of the file, and then a 1/4 inch inside is the stitch line. So all of that is included in the embroidery design, so you won't have any mistakes. You won't have to guess or measure. Gee, I hate to measure, to be honest with you. I let my embroidery machine do it for me. You'll even see on that stitch file that there are little notches, stitch notches that indicate where you will sew the side seams together, and also on the lining where you will leave that opening for turning. So all of that is laid out for you. It's all in the file itself. You won't have to do any guessing. And so your first step is to cut, to stitch the lining 2 pieces and the outer fabric 2 pieces. And then on the lining, you'll sew together, leaving an opening for turning, as indicated on the stitch lines. On the outer fabric, you'll stitch that whole bottom seam. And then take the time to go to the ironing board and press that open, because you want a nice flat bottom. And then we just sew the side seam from the corner to the notch on both sides, and you'll repeat that also for the lining. And then you'll box the corners, and I already have another piece here so I can show you how these are already boxed, as you can see. All the instructions are on the CD, well, not the CD, but the download link, so that clear instructions on how to box that corner is exactly what you need. And then I like to put the lining inside the outer bag, matching my top edges, and I use clips to do that. You could also use pins. And then I stitch from this point all the way around to the other side, and then flip the bag around and do the very same thing on this side. And then it's time to birth the bag. That's when we take the time to, pull right side out so that we have a bag finished like this. Now, I do sew that opening closed, and I do that right at the machine. I know some people like to do that by hand. Like I said earlier, that's a 4-letter word, and goodness, I bet I can't find a hand needle in my sewing room. So I just go right back to the machine and stitch that. Nobody's going to see it. Tuck it back in. Then it's time to add the glue into the frame. So this is sold separately, but we have a really great deal on this week's special on this, where it's just a add-on purchase for $5. So you would take your glue, and I like to use Aleene's Fabric Fusion. There's other fabric glues, whatever you're familiar with or have had good results in the past with. So you take that nozzle off, and then I hold it upside down, and I just drop a bead all the way around that channel. And once that's in place, I then clip back one part of the bag so that I can just work with the other half. And then I make sure that I'm inserting it in the proper fashion, like so. Hang on, let me move some of this out of the way. It's a little difficult to do this upside down. And once I get that in there, there's a good tip in these instructions that you top stitch your clutch, not top stitch, yeah, top stitch, but edge stitch right along the edge of that top of the bag, because that's going to allow you to insert that into that frame. And then I let that sit. So now if I had glue in there, I would let that sit for about 15-20 minutes. And then I would do the same procedure, dropping that bead of glue into the channel and then releasing this from the clips and inserting that into the frame. It is so easy. Now, if you, for some reason, your fabric is a little bit bulkier than you'd like, that edge stitching really makes a difference. And a credit card is just the right width to help push that fabric up into the channel. That's all you need. There's really no extra tools. Now, some people ask, do you clamp this down? And you can for a more secure holding, but frankly, I don't really even do that. That glue is so strong, it holds it right in place, which is exactly what we want. So, hi, Birdie. Thank you for your comment about loving our magnetic hoops. I appreciate that. We love them too. Boy, we use them all day long. And yeah, Sue, don't you love that red and gray? I know the young women that are on my gift list are going to like these bags. I think that's just the right size for them. They don't like to go out, with a large handbag. They just want something to hold their cell phone, car keys, and a little bit of cash or credit card, right? Or, car keys today, those fobs are pretty big, right? So you need something that has a little bit of body, a little bit of size so that you can fit those items in there. So that thread, now let's not forget, that's a really unique thread. And because it's a polyester, it does not lint. So as you're stitching, this bag was 32,000 stitches, I think. And no thread buildup, no linting. I didn't have to get out a little brush and clean up, the bobbin case or the needle area. That's what I love about this polyester thread. Cotton thread is very popular in the quilting world, but boy, does that lint up. The whole time you're stitching, I'm forever cleaning up after it. So I like that this does not lint. And so some tips for using these kind of novelty threads, especially that 15 weight. You're going to want to use a vertical thread stand if you have it, or if you have a vertical pin on the top of your machine, I would suggest using that. Slowing down the machine when you are using the 15 weight. And of course, you are absolutely going to need that 100 top stitch needle, and that comes right in the box. So you're going to enjoy that. Let's see. Yeah, Belle, you need this kit. Well, I'll tell you, it's a great way to knock off some Christmas gift making, right off your list. I did these 3 samples, stitched all these 3 samples in 90 minutes this morning. That's fast. That's so fast. And it's fun. And imagine the fun you can have with the colors on the bag, different linings. And, if you have the time, you could monogram the inside, on the linings. I mean, that's such a personal touch that people love. And, people also don't mind a monogram on the back, or on one side of the bag. So that's a personal choice and up to you. So let's see what other questions we have. The thread is beautiful. What else can you use it for? Well, I did bring a couple samples. I have a jacket that I did a while ago. Now, this doesn't have the clutch collection, but I love that kind of chunky design. And you know what's so nice about it? They stitch so fast because they're big, long stitches, big, long stitches. And I even did lettering on this. This is Live Your Dreams. It's one of my favorite denim jackets. It's a great message, right, to people to remember that. And then I have this garment, which is a completely different look, much more delicate. So this is I think it's a polyester kind of chiffon fabric, very loose, really drapey. And the white that you see is a purchased trim that I just sewed on. But all of this embroidery here is those beautiful vintage threads. So the blue and the pink are the 15 weight, and the green is the 40. So you get nice chunky stitches. Again, this was 2 hoopings in a 5x7 hoop. And this stitched in, like 15 minutes. It's just so fast because the thread is chunky and it's nice digitized with long stitches. So it's very quick. There's not a lot of shading or highlighting. You know, this is just bold color. So anyway, that's what we love about them. Really fun. So let's see. What other questions do we have? Retha, do you love your hoops too? What did we ever do without them? I know. And when I have to find, I'm looking for a standard hoop and I have to turn that screw to get the inner ring to hold inside the outer. Oh, I'm so grateful at that moment for my magnetic hoops. And boy, I use them for just about everything. I use them for quilting. I use them even with sticky stabilizer. I love them for knits. You know, anything that would suffer from hoop burn, they're really fun and very accomplishable. So let's see. Next week, we reveal number 3, and I'm excited about that. That is going to be kind of a medley. You're going to give several different ideas for that, so you'll have some choices. And then I guess we get a break for Thanksgiving. And then when we come back, I have 2 really great closers that I know you'll be able to finish in time for the holiday. So I didn't leave complicated for the end. We're going to do fast and furious for gift number 2 and 1. So I hope that you'll join me on those days. Remember, we're here every Thursday at 1 o'clock Central Time. Except for Thanksgiving. So we look forward to seeing you there. And, you know, don't forget to like this page and follow us at DZGNS, Designs and Machine Embroidery on Facebook and also on YouTube. We have all of these Facebook Lives are posted simultaneously to YouTube. So thank you for joining me today, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.